During the course of testimony, somebody said that 3/4 of children are involved. Was it you, Dr. Prinstein? Mr. Torney? What was that statistic again?
Yes, Common Sense Media has done nationally representative polling that has showed that 3 in 4 children have used AI companions.
And the second figure he gave was 37%.
Yes, 37% of parents know that their kids are using AI.
So let me ask the obvious question. As a caring parent, what should you look for as a sign that that's happening? Dr. Prinstein?
So I think it's so important to remember that it is a natural process that when people get positive feedback, that's going to activate a brain response, a dopamine response. It's going to feel really rewarding. Adolescents have a hypersensitive response to this because the area of the brain that stops them or makes them question or think about what to do is not yet fully activated. What's happening here is that we're seeing a lot of kids being lured into a trap that is specifically designed to go against their better judgment, to prey on the vulnerabilities in just how we grow up and how our brain develops. That's highly concerning because there's no regulation anywhere to remind kids you're not talking to something that can feel, that could have tears, as we just saw from those placards that were held up. This is not even a human. Kids should be reminded of that periodically throughout the interaction.
So I'm looking for the warning signs. Will there be warning signs that are obvious, self-mutilation or?
If any time that a child if someone notices a change in behavior or someone is starting to cut themselves, they should absolutely go to a licensed mental health care professional immediately. We should not be relying on AI instead.
Is that one of the early signals, early signs?
Well, if someone's already starting to cut themselves, then that's probably a sign that they're already far down the road in experiencing severe emotional distress.
Let me ask each of the parents who are here, tell me what you think was an early signal that you finally said something's happening here. Ms. Doe?
I think for me, it was probably his self-isolation in his room. He went from leaving the house all the time to self-isolating, and then the depression, and then the anxiety, and then not wanting us to get his phone at night, and then it was the cutting, and then from there the mental health went down. He stopped eating and showering and taking care of himself, and then it was suicidal.
Ms. Garcia, similar?
Yes, Senator, similar. My son started isolating himself in his bedroom, lost interest in our family activities like hiking and fishing, which he really loved, lost interest in playing with his little brothers. His grades started to decline in school, and we started to experience behavioral challenges with him at school.
Mr. Bain?
At the time, like I said, it was a complete shock, so I wish we knew that we had signs, but in hindsight, it's a very similar story. Adam and I would, several nights a week, like I mentioned, be in the hot tub and hanging out and talking. His final month of life, he was avoiding me. I thought he was mad at me, but he would go in after me or before, it was very bizarre. So, that was, like I said, I thought he was mad at me, but for 30, 45 days, he was avoiding me in ways he never had.
Okay, Dr. Prinstein, assume you're a parent and you see one or more of these signs and you are educated in the danger. What is the proper, best intervention?
Some of the examples that we just heard about would be signs of depression that's beginning, and those would be the things we would go to a licensed mental health care professional immediately. We should know, though, that there might be other kids who might, instead of showing depression, suddenly show signs of increased risk behavior or agitation or irritability. Any sudden change in mood or interaction, as we've heard today, would be a sign for a licensed professional to step in.
Can you, as parents and having lived this experience, add anything to that in terms of effective intervention that you've heard of from other parents, for example?
Yes, Senator. I have spoken to several parents, and I've spoken to every pediatrician that I run into and every therapist that I run into to let them know about this so they could start screening for it. And I believe that would definitely go a long way, because the truth is, like, parents don't know, doctors don't know about character AI and different companion chatbot programs out there because the technology is so new. It was rapidly developed to get it out to market. Really, a lot of us have not had the time to catch up to what they're doing and what the dangers are.
Any other experiences on the panel?
I think in my experience, what was hard is we took my son and we took him to a psychologist and told them what was going on. And it was more responded like, but this is a chatbot. Like, this isn't real. And so my response back was like, if this was a person, would this be more important? And it was always immediate yes, but they couldn't understand how this type of thing could happen with a chatbot. But like if somebody came into your home and was grooming and abusing your child, for some reason that's different than a chatbot, I think it should be on the same level.
I do too, absolutely. And I want to say to the chairman, you put your finger on it at the start. It's about money. It's about profit. I just have to look up this man, Noam Shazir, whatever. Google paid him $2.7 billion to come back and work at Google. I didn't have time and didn't want to spend all my time taking a look at what he's done with his life, but he said he has many more AI ideas he wants to develop. I can tell you this point blank, from going back to early experiences in my life, if you put a price on this conduct, it'll change. If you make them pay a price for the devastation they brought to your families and other families, it will change. But you've got to really step across that line and say, we've got to make them vulnerable. Arbitration, it's hideous to think that they would suggest $100 for what you've been through and are going through is just outrageous. And I believe, Mr. Chairman, we know the direction we need to move in, and I hope we can do it together. Thank you so much for being here today. You will save lives for your testimony, for sure.